My name's Dave DeBow, founder of MoneyPartnerFormula.com, and this show is built for everyday real estate investors who are actively doing deals and looking to scale using other people's money. So if you're an active real estate investor and you want to get featured on this show to talk about your own real estate and capital raising experiences, then just go to daveinterviewsyou.com. Now let's get rolling with this episode, and remember to subscribe for daily interview content. Have you ever fantasized about combining travel and finding exotic locations and your real estate investing business? Well, you don't have to fantasize about it. Today's special guest is doing exactly that. She is a real estate entrepreneur, and she's kind of creating a dream lifestyle and portfolio. One of her properties, at least, is in beautiful Costa Rica. So zooming in from somewhere that a lot of us think is kind of exotic if we're Canadian and freezing our buns off this time of year. Zooming in from Florida, we have Caroline Ceniza-Levine. Caroline, welcome to the show. Great to have you.
I'm so excited to be here, Dave. Thanks so much.
So Caroline, give us a snapshot. What does your real estate portfolio look like? What kind of properties, what locations, what's your main focus real estate wise?
Sure. I tell people that my husband and I are mom and pop landlords. We have a portfolio of 9 doors. We do have a rental in Costa Rica, Tamarindo. So we just love going there, and we wanted to have something outside of the US. And it is on Airbnb. It's a short-term rental. Everything else that we have is long-term rental.
Okay.
We have a property in upstate New York, in Asheville, North Carolina, and in Northeast Florida, mainly the Jacksonville area. So all places that we love to be, and it enables us to, as you say, travel and also invest and write it off as a business trip.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. So we're recording this at the beginning of 2025. How long have you and your husband been investing for, Caroline?
It's been 13 years. So we bought our very first property in 2012, and that's really in terms of a pure investment property. And that's really kind of what started the ball going. We had bought a residence in 2002, and that's actually what helped us finance all of the other stuff that happened after that.
You'll use a little bit of that home equity to get into your other properties. Nice, 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 nice. So what was it that kind of, where does real estate fit in for you guys in your overall financial picture?
Yeah, so my husband and I are pretty traditionally raised in the sense of, go to school, get a job, work for a long time and then retire. And so it really wasn't on my radar to do alternative investing or anything outside of the 401k really. But I did think about places that we'd like to go, thinking, well, what if there's a place we'd like to retire to, Florida, because we like the warm weather, and maybe we could rent it for now and then just retire there. So it really started as something just very, very simply, something that we can use, make a little bit of money up from now, and then when the time is right to move down there. But we just found that we really enjoyed scouting properties, buying properties, of course, and visiting these places. And so we ended up buying different things. And at one point we had 15 properties under our belt. We've since sold some and, bought some others and sold some. And so right now we have 9. And so that's how we got started, just a little at a time.
So were you doing the whole short-term, mid-term rental type thing, or did you really get started with long-term rentals?
It was all long-term. So it was only the Costa Rica property. It is only the Costa Rica property that we're doing short term. And that's simply because it makes no sense for that geography to be long term. And we wanted something international, and we wanted to be in Costa Rica specifically. So we made an exception for that. But we don't have the time and energy and honestly the knowledge. We don't come from any sort of real estate related background to be hands-on on-site managers. So we have property managers for all of our properties, and it just makes more sense to do it long term.
So for these single family homes, especially in the States, kind of spread out over all over the place, what's your average fee or percentage that you have to pay a property manager to manage these onesie twosie type properties?
Yeah, it's 10%. So it's
Yeah.
not insignificant. And then there's also the listing fee for when the rental turns over. So for them to put in a tenant is 1 month. So you really do have to think about those costs because every time a tenant leaves, it could really be several months if you think about it, because it's the vacancy, it's the listing fee, it's the cost to repaint or refresh or whatever it is that you need to do. So, of course, we'll make the best money when we have tenants who will stay year over year.
So long term, Caroline, are you and your husband planning to hold on to these properties, pay down the mortgages over time, boost up the cash flow, and kind of have that augment your income and your lifestyle at that point? Or are you really kind of focusing on appreciation and then cashing out for a big chunk at the end, or both? What are you guys looking at doing?
Yeah, we're still undecided. We went into it knowing that real estate generally is a liquid, so that we'd have to hold it and be prepared to hold it and not be in a position where we'd have to sell it if we
Yeah.
got in trouble. And this is why we bought those onesie, twosie single family homes, because we always bought slowly with things that we could carry if we ever didn't have a tenant for a long time.
Yeah.
And so the thinking was, yeah, that we would hold them, that the tenants would pay down the mortgage, that they would be part of our retirement portfolio. And that's that. We have two kids. We do have to think about estate planning. Neither of them have showed any sort of interest in real estate.
Surprise,
And real,
surprise.
I don't know. I mean, I was hoping maybe one or both of them, but in
How old
any
are they?
event, it's not the easiest thing to pass down, if you
Yeah.
will. We have LLC set up. We have the plans in place, but the reality is that it would be easier if we had just liquidated all of our properties and then just passed on a whole lot of cash. So we do think about that. And our properties have appreciated, and costs to hold them have greatly increased: insurance, property taxes, maintenance. And so we have to think about, maybe this is a good time to be selling. So we make that decision individually. That's another reason why we got these onesie, twosie properties, because we figured we don't have to sell everything at the same time. We can decide, oh, this market, it makes sense to sell. So we'll do that. Or this market, it makes sense to hold. So we'll keep that.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And Caroline, what have you enjoyed the most about the Costa Rica property, and what hasn't been so great for you in your experience so far?
Yeah. So what's been great is the reason why we bought it, which is that we really saw real estate as a way of combining our love of travel, our love of investing, of not just spending money while we're on vacation, but actually investing our time and efforts and getting a business deduction for it. And so that has all lived up to its hype. We love visiting our property and staying there. And it's different when you stay in something that you own versus a hotel, and all of your stuff is there, and it's great. So
Yeah.
that has been all terrific. It's hard to run a short-term rental even when we have terrific property managers on the ground. It is just a lot of wear and tear. It's constant turnover, so you're dealing with vacancies and just issues, and you do have to learn how things work in a different geography, both in terms of just regulations, but then also culturally. Your audience is going to be different. Your potential tenants are different. So that's been all of a learning curve.
Yeah.
And I have to say, I don't enjoy short term rentals. I wouldn't do that as my primary investment mode. But again, the benefit of having an investment in a place that we love to go, where we could potentially see ourselves full time retiring, is, greatly outweighs the
No.
disadvantages of the short term
Yeah.
rental.
Well, that's exciting. Do you guys get down a couple of times a year, or how often are you getting down usually?
Yeah, we're trying. Well, once or twice a year. We were hoping to do that more. Of course, the pandemic threw a wrench into things, and
Yeah.
et cetera, et cetera. But we try to get down at least once, if not twice.
Nice, 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 nice. What are your plans for the next 3, 4, 5 years when it comes to real estate, Caroline?
Yeah, so we're looking at those holding costs and monitoring them and looking also at how much the portfolio has appreciated and if now is a good time. We're also thinking about more international locations because we would like to travel even more. In fact, we have a trip planned to Spain, which is where we think our next location is going to be. But again, this is part and parcel of our day jobs and other things that we do. We are very much real estate investors on the side, and that's what we love about it. You can really get your hands dirty. You can really be in it, but it doesn't have to take 24/7 all of your
Oh, that's
time.
wonderful. Yeah. Spain would be absolutely beautiful. I don't know if they're going to do it or not, but I heard some rumblings about them slapping a 100% property tax on foreign buyers starting now. So I don't know if that might throw a wrench in things, but yeah, Spain, Portugal, Italy, the Mediterranean would be lovely to have a home there. That's for sure.
Yes.
Yeah. Caroline, this has been great. If people want to connect with you, where should they go?
Well, the best way to find me is on my website, which is dreamcareerclub.com.
Sounds like you're combining what you're up to with real estate investing, showing other people how to do the same thing.
Absolutely. And it's so important with AI, with job insecurity. You just never know. That's why we got involved in real estate. And that's what I encourage my clients to do for their own career security.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for being on the show. This has been a lot of fun.
Thanks so much, Dave.
All right, everybody, take care. See you on the next one. Hey there. I really hope you enjoyed that episode. And as always, if you want to listen to more daily interview content, make sure you subscribe. And if you're an active real estate investor and you're doing deals and you'd like to get featured on this show, then just head over to daveinterviewyou.com. Now, at moneypartnerformula.com, we help real estate investors to create a process for predictably getting capital so they can do more deals without relying on hard money lenders or the banks. We do this by building them a private capital marketing system. Now, if you want help turning yourself into a big money capital attraction machine, then book a call with our team to see how we can help. Just visit moneypartnerformula.com to find out more. All right, take care, and we'll see you on the next interview.